Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this busy Wednesday afternoon. I think it's so important that you all are obviously on here taking the time, and you have to walk away with nuggets, right? That's the name of the game. And I start every single webinar and podcast with that line because let's face it, right? We want to maximize every minute. So take down notes, use that question box. Andrew's going to do his best to answer every single question, comment that comes in. If we don't, we will get to you as soon as we hang up the call. But I want to make sure that you all are comfortable with what we're talking about today. We're going over sales ideas. You're going to learn about some new niche life and disability products with some neat features that you haven't seen before with return of premium, non-med, e-app, some great sales ideas. We have a bonus that starts at $500 that I think everybody is interested in earning, right? So we know how that works, but this is a 111-year-old mutual life insurance company, right? That has that old style, like Midwestern customer service oriented aspect where you call in and talk to your underwriter on the phone, right? How the way things were back, in the 70s and 80s and 90s, which we just don't see anymore. So I would say the customer service aspect, along with competitive niche products that you just don't see out there in the space, you all are going to learn a lot. I promise you that. We have not done a webinar like this ever with this carrier. So again, very, very excited about this. And I think, I'm just going to say a couple more words and then we're going to dive right in here. But, obviously we're dealing with this pandemic right now. And I thought by this time we'd be pretty much over it. And now we're seeing this other variant, like it or not, right? Life insurance in general is skyrocketing. The conversation is skyrocketing, right? It's the topic of every dinner conversation, right? With the kids around, the mom and dad are there, and everybody's looking at the parents saying, if you get COVID, are we going to be okay? Can we go to college, right? Can we keep this lifestyle that we've had for the last 13 years or whatever it is, right? So you have to be at the forefront, and you have to have access to the most competitive products. And it doesn't matter if it's living benefits or whole life or disability, whatever it is, right? You have to have your finger on the pulse 24/7, and that's where we come in. So, we were having a conversation this morning with a big principal general agency. And anyway, the gentleman is coming over to this side and he wants to service and recruit all of the agents. And he said to us, I'm not used to having access to all of these products and technology and tools, right? I've never had this before. It's like a whole new world. Anyway, he is so excited about this. So we are customizing our website, our infographic, which is like our menu, and he's going to go out there and hit the ground running and share this message to all of these career agents that never had access to a platform like this. So, the good news is you all have full access to the training, the tools, the technology, these exclusive sales programs, Insure Me Now Direct, the incentives, the trips. So it's up to you to run with it, and you're at the right place to learn. So anyway, with that said, let's jump right in here. The first thing I want to talk about is this was a CNBC article, and it spoke about the top 50 tech companies that are disruptors now and in the future. And what's so crazy is Bestow on the Insure Me Now Direct platform was one of the companies that was listed. And here's the reason why, okay? Now, when we're talking about vanilla term, okay, which, by the way, is not what we're going over today with Illinois Mutual, but when we're talking about vanilla term insurance, right, in the past, you had non-med products that were approved with no exam and let's say within 24 hours or the same day. The customer had to pay a big price for that, okay, even just a few years ago. Okay, now with Bestow on Insure Me Now Direct, this term product up to 1.5 million approved in less than 7 minutes is priced as good, if not better, than the most competitive company in the world today. So again, if your client needs 10, 15, 20, 30-year term up to 1.5 million, right? They're a little younger, they're healthy. Definitely quote Bestow. Okay, there's no commission reduction. It's so simple. You just email the link or say, hey, go to BillLevinson.com, Mr. Smith. That's it. 1, 2, 3. Print and save the policy. Done. Check out this article. We also have some new consumer marketing that you will love. In fact, we just sent out a blast this week, and we included all of the consumer videos, flyers. We have some really neat stuff we can co-brand with your name on it. But this is the future for basic term insurance. That's it, especially for the younger, healthier clientele. Okay, what's new at Levinson? So real fast, left side, we have new incentives that we launched. Bestow, write your first app, $50 gift card. We have a new August annuity, $100 gift card. If you write an indexed annuity, Surebridge. Okay, you write your first 2 apps, you get $100. The Levinson Expo contest. We are back April 8th, 2022. We're so excited about this. And starting at just $20,000, you can qualify for a free room at our beachfront resort, and you can even qualify for round trip airfare and your free room and make a little vacation out of it. Okay, it doesn't matter where you are in the country. We want to see you there. It's going to be awesome. Okay, new carriers and products in the middle section there. We have a handful of new products we are programming now into Insure Me Now Direct, okay? That makes for over 20 products, 5 different carriers. Very, very excited. Again, that is the future, folks. I'm telling you right now, okay? For the smaller, let's say, term insurance, supplemental CI, DI, accident, guaranteed issue, that is the way to go. Check it out when you can, and it's free, obviously. So talk to Noah. We'll get you all set up. Okay, Nationwide had a few updates, changes. We're going to send out a memo on that. Boston Mutual now guaranteed issue to 100,000. Okay, that's unheard of. Guaranteed Trust Life, new final expense rollout. Forrester's non-med term. That's great for impaired risk clients. I'm telling you right now, for an immediate death benefit, if you have a client that needs term, they're not healthy. Okay, I don't know if you remember the old U.S. Financial would write these impaired risk clients. That is the new go-to, Forrester's non-med term for impaired risk. Okay, on the right side, we just sent out another blast on the Joe Ross 3-part training series. If you want to sell IUL, you're not too comfortable, or maybe you're an IUL pro, this 3-part training is awesome. It's going to teach you everything. If you're a rookie, if you're a veteran, it doesn't matter. He is, in fact, my favorite life coach today. So check that one out. We're also going to include it in today's thank you email. Mary Reed, Distribution Solution. That is for tax saving strategies, retirement planning, and she will do all of the selling for you. We just had an agent, he's on the call today, that sold 3 applications. Okay, she did everything for him and the client, right? 3 applications, 1 family, $150,000 of target, went to LSW. She will literally do everything from A to Z. As long as you have a guy, you have a girl, okay, that's interested, I will make the introduction, and she will do everything once again for you, and you still get the bulk of the commission. So check out those books. In fact, we're going to do a giveaway at the end. We're giving away, we have an Amazon Echo and the Distribution Solution Prospecting book. Okay, so make sure you're on till the end. Okay, let's move forward here. So real quick, this is a chart with our disability carriers. Now, as you can see, Illinois Mutual is the only carrier on the spreadsheet on the blue collar side and the white collar side, both with e-applications. Okay, and you can see the other carriers we have, but these are 2 of the go-tos that fall into both categories. And you're going to hear more in just a few more minutes why we're highlighting Illinois Mutual today. Okay, let's jump right into the feature presentation. We have Mr. Alan Sternberg. He's our Life Regional Sales Manager at Illinois Mutual on the life side. Then when he's done, Jeff Wilson is going to touch on the DI side, and then we'll get this wrapped up. Alan, are you there, bud?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Am I coming in? All right. Well, thank you so much for the introduction. Real excited to be here. I am going to try to cram in a lot in the next 20 minutes. So buckle up. I'm from New York, as you're probably going to be able to tell. as I speak, but let's get going here. Let's start the rock and roll show, shall we? Let me just start. Bill wanted me to talk about sales ideas. Well, let me just quote from an article. 2012 financial planning article stated 62% of uninsured individuals responded that no one has ever offered to sell them life insurance. Imagine that. Imagine being in the gymnasium with 1,000 people with no life insurance. That'd be like called fishing in a barrel, wouldn't it? Here's what else is interesting. In the same article, 56% of financial advisors state they're so uncomfortable talking about insurance, they don't bring it up. Now, the reason for that, that's probably more like your A.G. Edwards and your Merrill Lynch guys and gals. But the problem is that there are a lot of uninsured individuals here. When I say we, I mean we as an industry, we kind of make assumptions on, oh, they're all set or they got enough, and we got to talk about that. And we're going to talk about that as we go forward. So my sales idea is always seek knowledge, ask. Nothing happens in this world unless we ask. I don't get upgraded at my hotel after spending 150 nights at a Marriott. I don't get upgraded unless I ask at the front desk. Everything in this world has to be asked. So get out there and let's start asking our clients to review their life insurance. Let's get out there and ask them to buy their economic replacement value or their full human life value in life insurance coverage and demonstrate to them how valuable that is to their family. I'll talk about that as I close out the presentation. Let's talk about Illinois Mutual. And of course, my computer just locked up. Okay, here we are. So as Bill mentioned, we're 111 years in the business. The key here is we're a mutual carrier. In my 35 years, I've always worked with mutual companies, Northwestern, Guardian, Penn Mutual, Foresters, now Illinois Mutual. The answer was whole life. What was your question? I kid. But the thing that's just so important about mutual carriers is the decisions that we make today affect our tomorrows, which means that we have the ability to survive pandemics as we did in 1918, as we're doing now. Economic downturns, market adjustments, world wars, on and on and on. Mutual carriers stand the test of time. Let's move forward. Excuse me. We have three basic life insurance products, and I'm going to give you the highlight, 30,000 foot. We have a whole life series, a term series, and a return of premium product that falls within the term series. But we keep that separate because it's special. All right. Whole life, we have 5 different designs. It's all depending on what your client's planning objectives are. We'll make a distinction, excuse me, between preferred and standard all the way down to $10,000. We have living benefit riders such as chronic and terminal illness, which I'll get into in a moment. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the importance of riders in just a second. Well, we have those 5 products. If you look at this chart starting on the top and going from left to right, the Whole Life Series 100 is a paid up to age 121 design. That means that will be your lowest cost of entry. That is your lowest out of pocket to get guaranteed whole life insurance with a death benefit that's guaranteed, a premium that's guaranteed, and a cash value that's guaranteed. As you move to the right, the Whole Life Series 200 is a paid up at age 95. So since we're paying less years, you would expect what? The premium to increase, which it does slightly. But in return, you'll see slightly higher cash values, dividends, and so on and so forth. As we drop down to the bottom row, we have our 2 limited pay plans. Technically, the limited pay Series 100 says 30 years to age 75, whichever is longer. Technically, the Series 200 says 20 years or to age 65, whichever is longer. That's the home office's not understanding how our product really works. I'll explain it in a little bit, but understand that the Series 100 is a true 30 pay, and the Series 200 is a true 20 pay with the option for the client to continue to make those premium payments. Why would anybody want to make payments in the 31st or 21st year? Well, if anybody's ever owned whole life insurance for that long of time, they can clearly tell you why. Because that policy becomes a cash machine, and there's no other better place that you could put your money once you got a policy 20 and 30 years of age. And then our last, excuse me, I got summer allergies kicking in on me. And our last whole life is single premium life. Great for universal life rescue plans where the increasing mortality expense charges are whacking down the policy with this low interest rate environment. You take that remaining cash, pluck it into a single premium, give a guaranteed set it and forget it life insurance. And the other option that I think is real attractive is for grandparents that are setting up gifts for their grandchildren. What better way to pass along a legacy than through single premium life, because it passes through probate and tax-free, and gives them certain guarantees that they're looking for. Let's take a look, and I'm going to blow past this chart. Here's what I want to talk about with riders in general, and I got limited time, but here's the thing. Do you want to talk about benefits with your clients, or do you want to talk about costs? Because way too many times I see agents showing the base policy and then try to add on those riders afterwards. I rather have the riders on and talk about what they do and why you designed the contract the way you did versus trying to add that stuff on later, because that becomes an arm wrestling match over cost. Think about the car buying experience. When you walk into the dealership, the edition of the car that you're looking for is the premium edition that's on the on the showroom floor. And what do we do as potential buyers? We go to that window sticker and we see the base premium, we see that base policy car of $24,500, and then we see all the enhancements that makes it $36,500. Well, we got to make decisions. Do we want those extra $12,000 worth of additions? So you go in there and you make decisions as to whether or not you want that Harman Bose audio system, if you want those shifter paddles, and so on and so forth. Why wouldn't we do that with our life insurance designs? Add up all those benefits, talk about them, and then let the client make that decision as to whether or not that's good for them. So there's another good sales idea. We have our disability waiver. We've got, like I said, the terminal illness waiver. So if you're terminally ill and death's expected within 24 months, you can take that money and do whatever you want. Chronic illness, as long as you suffer 2 of the 6 activities of daily living, you have the ability to accelerate those monies based on the IRS's guidelines and reimburse yourself for medical costs incurred. You got your waiver of premium, which is your standard waiver of premium, which I love, especially for younger insureds. So I've seen people get disabled, and thank God their life insurance was put in force because they ultimately passed away. And I don't want to know what that conversation I would have had it not been for that darn waiver of premium. You're dealing with younger insureds, the guaranteed insurability option, something you want to look at. If you think about this, and if you're looking at that screen, if you had a 30-year-old, you have the 5 opportunities to talk about life insurance again with your client on their 33rd, 36th, 39th, 42nd, and 45th birthday. All those options, they get to underwrite. They get to get that policy at their original underwriting class. And I'll tell you, if you've experienced, you know that your health between age 30 and age 45 doesn't improve typically. It kind of goes the other way. So it's a great option. It's a great rider. It's worth a discussion with that client up front and early, and especially if they're 30 years of age, that rider's a pretty small cost. Of course, you got your accidental death benefit. You got term insurance riders that you can add to create like family plans. You've got children's riders as well. If you want all the details, we'll send you the agent guide. I want to just get the quick sales idea. This is just a quick example of us creating a family plan. The reason I'm creating a family plan, they're much more difficult to lapse. They tend to stay on the books longer. So I got a family with a budget of $100 a month. I got to get them some protection. I got Mark and Amber and 2 young kids. So I anchored the design with a $50,000 whole life on Mark. Then I put $200,000 of term on him, put another $250,000 on his wife. So now husband and wife are each insured for $250,000, and a $20,000 child rider. So each child now has a $20,000 of protection and policies that'll convert to whole life when they reach age 25. So we've got $540,000 of family protection for $91 a month. Think the client's excited about that? Yeah, well within their budget, get that whole family insured. And again, your persistency, I think, will increase when you sell family plans like this. I'm going to talk about this 20-pay real quick because of shorter time, but I lost the case because I didn't understand my own 20-pay. So I told you it's 20-pay to age 65. But here's the difference. Here's what the competitor had, and here's what we had. We were 668. The competitor was at 566. So you'll notice after 10 years, the paid up insurance for the competitor was 24.9. We were at 25.837. With dividends, we were at 33 plus. I think we win, even though we're paying $102 more. Well, let's bring it down to the 20th year. At the end of the 20th year, just as their contract said, they got a guaranteed paid up policy after 20 years for $50,000. Well, lo and behold, with no dividends, we have $50,000. If you look down, 20th year under Illinois Mutual, but we got this thing called dividends. So you got 30% more death benefit to the tune of $65,000 versus 50 on the traditional 20 pay. So I will tell you that I think our 20 pay is as competitive as anybody else's, with the privilege and right to continue to pay premiums beyond that 20th year. And as you can see how that cash value can grow beyond that 20th year, as you can see illustrated here. If you want to see a specific example, I'm happy to run it. Single premium. This is grandma. Real quick example. Grandma's 59. She's got 60,000 squirreled away. We drop her to single premium. She gets almost 137,000 of probate free and guaranteed death benefit. Take a look at us for single premium life. Term insurance. I'm going to go through this quick because I know I'm running out of time. We have 7 different term plans. We've got a 10, a 15, a 20, a 25, a 30-year guaranteed level, and an age 65 and 2 age 70 guaranteed level. Most important, we have financial flexibility for our futures. That's called your convertibility option. All policies are fully convertible for the length of the policy up through the 20th policy year. So the 25 and the 2H and the other policies are only convertible through the 20th year. In addition, our contract includes a 10% guaranteed accidental death benefit rider. So if you ride $1 million and your client gets killed in a bus accident, their family's going to get $1.1 million. That's free of charge. We have marketing pieces. So if you got young family just starting out, you're going to look at the family path solution. Family buying a house for the first time, that'll highlight our 15 and our 30-year level. And the retirement path solution will highlight our 2H65 and our 2H70 design. I'm going to go blow by the illustration. Return of premium. I love this product, and here's why. Here's a 30-year-old buying return of premium to age 65. We go down the chart. He's paying $955. At the end of the 35 years, he would have paid $33,425. His return of premium option is $31,675. So I'm reading from policy year 35 left to right. The difference between that $31,675 and his out-of-pocket is the $50 annual policy fee, which is not returnable. So in essence, he paid $1,750 minus the time value loss of the money that he spent on the premiums to get all that life insurance. So he could take that option, take that $31,675 and sever ties with Illinois Mutual. He walks away. He's happy. Illinois Mutual's happy. But what if he likes life insurance? He's got 2 great options. Option number 2, you can go reduce paid up. I'm in the second to last column, $76,630. He'll get 30 years or 2 age 95 of free term insurance with no additional premiums. He's foregoing the 31, but he likes the idea of having a legacy benefit. So he takes that option. Let's take the scenario out a little bit. Let's say the day before the policy expires, he gets some real bad news from his doctor. Oh no, what can I do? Well, thank God you bought Illinois Mutual. You got yourself a terminal illness. Well, you could tell Illinois Mutual you're going to forego this $31,675 and take an extended term option to the tune of that original $500,000 of death benefit. That'll give you 6 years and 305 days of protection. And if your illness is going to take you out, within that 6 years, you're going to pull that option out. All right, so you got 3 good options with return of premium. So take a look. Great for buy-sell agreements. Businesses hate costs, which means they hate term insurance, and they may not have the cash flow for a whole life. Return of premium is a great in-between. Real quick, and I think it's just non-med underwriting, we go up to $250,000, $1 under $250,000. That's no blood, no EKG, no paramed. We do an MIB script check and MRV and a motor vehicle check. I'm going to move past this. We've got 5G quote. So if you've got a phone or a tablet or anything that gets to the internet, you type in 5gquote.com, you can get to this screen, and you could plug in the age, the sex, the state, whether or not they smoke, and you could quote both life and disability. In this example, I'm quoting a $250 term. I click on the Get Life Quote button, and it returns all the term options that that client has and all the different underwriting options that they could fall within outside of standard. Outside of rated. Real nice way to pivot and have quick conversations. You can do, again, on your phone, anything that gets the internet. We offer, as Bill alluded to, quarterly incentives. So if you hit any of these quarterly levels on October 1st, you'll get a bonus. So if you do 3 apps and $2,500 of premium between now and the end of September, on October 1st in your account, you'll see $500. You get to level 3, for example. All right, and you'll notice the 500 is 20% of the qualifying premium. Level 3 is a $2,000 cash bonus. You need 8 apps and $8,000 of premium, but now the bonus is representing 25% of the required premium. So getting more money for more business. And it goes on and on and on. In addition to this bonus, in the third quarter, and I know we're halfway through, any advisor that makes any of these levels for the first time this year not only gets this bonus, but gets an additional 20 points. So if you hit level 3 with 10,000 of premium, you're going to get 2,000 for your regular bonus and another 2,000 for the 10,000 of premium. That's 4,000 before you even paid you $1 commission. Not a bad deal. In addition to that, because you're all new with us, and we recognize they don't necessarily start at the beginning of a quarter, we will give you, upon the first application, not your agent application, upon your first application, your clock starts. And if you in your first 3 months do 3 apps and 3,000, we'll give you 500. If you do 6 apps and 6,000 on top, in addition to another 3 apps and another 3, we'll give you another $1,000. So $1,500 for your first 6,000 of business. Again, not a bad deal. That's me. That's my number, 309-258-8896. That's Tasha Guth. She's a lot more important than I am. She's the internal sales rep. That's our 800 number. Excuse me. And our extension's 309.
Thank you.
I apologize for speaking so quick. I have to go to catch a plane. Bill, everybody,
Alan,
thank you so much for the opportunity.
You did great. Take a sip of water, relax. We appreciate this. We're going to send out a thank you email to everyone. We'll include those incentives as well, brochures, contracting, everything you need to get started. Okay, next up is Andrew. If you can mute his line there, that would be great. Jeff is up next, and what's interesting now, and this is where Illinois Mutual really shines, is with the DI department. They have some real unique riders, benefits that you have not seen before, unless you've heard Jeff speak at a prior expo or meeting. But anyway, Jeff Wilson from Illinois Mutual. Jeff, you there, bud?
I am here, Bill. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hope you guys can hear me.
Yep.
Just to continue on with Alan, what Alan said about a combination of life and DI, in which we believe wholeheartedly in. Before we kind of move into that, let's just do a level set. As far as Illinois Mutual's markets are concerned, and really DI in general, is the purpose of DI is to do what? Is to protect our most valuable asset, and that's the ability to earn an income. Alan and I both talk a lot about the foundational elements for someone, and those two foundational pieces are concurrently life and DI. So we feel that if you sell life insurance, you really need to have a DI plan in your toolbox, if you will, and always talk about that. And vice versa, if you lead with DI, you should always at least have a conversation with your prospects and clients about the other side of that, and that's the life insurance. So I'm going to move through this. Appreciate everything that you guys have done for us if you sold us in the past. But one of the things that's really interesting as I travel up and down the East Coast and talk to folks is there's a lot of overlooked opportunity here with DI. So hopefully I can get you to think about that, reach out to the team there at Bill's office, or reach out to us and we can certainly help you. But some aha things here is that it's kind of sad, but 7 in 10 or 70% of all Americans would feel a pinch if they didn't have their paycheck. And this is a month, which is not a long period of time. So that's what disability insurance does. It creates what, in my opinion, a financial bridge from someone who becomes disabled, can't work. Uh-oh, I can't draw a paycheck, but the bills still keep coming on in. So the last thing they want to worry about is the stress that's put on them from that piece of how they live. So DI kind of relieves that stress so they can focus on getting well. And then the other piece is, and we often brush over the DI opportunity for someone who works in the private sector, maybe for a brand name company. You might assume that they have everything they need rolled up in their employee benefits package. Well, that's not necessarily the case. So you should always ask your prospects or clients, tell me a little bit about your employee benefits, and do you have a long-term disability plan in there? Well, they won't know typically, so you need to get a copy of their employee benefits booklet, which opens up the door for other consulting sales opportunities as well. So just don't assume that if they work for a brand name company that their employee benefit package is robust enough to have a good long-term DI plan. And we know just from experience that 90% of all claims are due to illness versus accident. And that's one of those educational elements, if you ask me, when you talk to someone, because they may say, hey, look, I don't work in a risky job. You know, I drive in my Prius with my hands on 10 and 2, and I go home every day. Well, that's great, but 9 out of all 10 claims have nothing to do with that. It's illness. So wanted to share that with you. There's plenty of reference material out on the website. Anywhere you look, disabilitycanhappen.now or .org is a great website. But just to frame up again where we fit in the marketplace as far as DI goes, I think this is a great visual as well. We all could see above the waterline of the iceberg, and that's where DI is typically marketed, and that would be someone like a physician. As a matter of fact, physicians are probably one of the only group of occupations that actually will reach out to financial professionals and ask about buying disability insurance. They want as much as they can possibly get. In our world, we live below the waterline, and that's a good thing because there's a massive opportunity underneath the waterline that is not exposed for people who really need disability insurance. They don't have the fortune of being able to liquidate assets or sell mutual funds or stocks to survive if there's a disability event in their life. These are people who get up and go to work every day. And as a matter of fact, 80% of our policy owners' household income is less than $150,000 annually. Now, that's nothing to sneeze at. $150,000 is a good chunk of change. But it's interesting. The parallel of that is 83 or 84% of working Americans make less than $1.50. So we're in concert with and lined up with that opportunity there. And there's a bunch of people out there that make less than $150,000 a year. Now, will we write someone who makes 200? Absolutely, but that's not really our sweet spot. So what is our sweet spot? Bill mentioned that we're over 110 years old, mutual company. We've been doing DI since the beginning of time, and we think we really got it figured out. But the DNA of Illinois Mutual is blue, gray collar occupations. So that's the people who get their hands dirty every day. And we will never stray off of that path, but we can push into the white collar market as well, just depending on the circumstances and what the person truly does for a living. So what I'm asking you to do here is, when you're looking at a DI opportunity, don't think of it as blue, white, or gray. Now, I know Principal, which is on your list, is a great DI company. They live in that white collar space. And as a matter of fact, I had a joint meeting with the DI rep for Principal yesterday. But typically, anything under $150,000 is us. That could be a physician that works out in rural America, right? that's a good prospect for us. And I'll share with you in a minute why we think that is great. But so don't think of it in color codes, think of it in income. So if you're doing your prospecting, your fact finding, and you have the chat about, tell me a little bit about your paycheck protection plan, and they just look at you with blank stares, and they make a good living. I don't care what they do. Reach out to your team there at Bill's office or us, and we can certainly put together, I bet you, 2 or 3 budget sensitive solutions. Those are key words, budget sensitive. Most of our clients are not going to pay or can't pay $300, $400 a month for a DI plan. It's just not feasible from a budget standpoint. However, our products are solid and strong enough and can be customizable enough where that same person may be able to pay 50 to 100 bucks a month for a great DI plan. That's a win big time. So keep that in mind. So how do we do that, and what do we offer? We've got 2 products. We've had these 2 products forever. The one on your screen left there is designed for income protection, and that's whether it's a W-2 or 1099 person, doesn't matter. And then the other side is our business overhead expense policy. Is designed for those small business practices, owners, typically 1 to 5 in the whole company. And the key here is how intimately involved is the owner of that business in the day-to-day operation of that business. And the more and more they're intricately involved, the more important it is to have that conversation about business overhead expense. That's basically an insurance wrapper that we can help pay those bills if that owner is out of commission, not working for a certain period of time. So it's a DI plan, but it's focused on expenses of the business rather than the income driven out of that business for the owner. We're still looking at the owner. Okay, real quick example, this will probably crystallize it for you. We all know those attorneys who, you know, they got out of law school, they went to work for the big firm downtown, they worked, you know, I don't know how many years, but they got tired of working 100 hours a week and giving all the profits to the partners. So they leave, you know, they buy or rent that little house downtown, they refurbish it, they hang a shingle out, all of a sudden they're in business for themselves. Okay, so if it's a one person, one attorney office, that attorney, you know, is injured and can't work, that business is in jeopardy, and especially if they have 2 or 3 employees there. So that's a perfect candidate to have a conversation about business overhead expense coverage, if you will. Okay. Now, one thing I really love about our portfolio is the products. I like to call them a la carte. The base policy is the base policy. It doesn't have any hidden riders built in, baked in, if you will, but it is solid and stands on its own. 34% of our in-force block of business is core-based product only. In other words, there's no riders attached to it. However, we have 12, and that's the other thing I really love about our products. They're highly customizable based on need and budget. So you can build a great product for someone, especially based on budget. Okay? And I'm going to touch base in a minute with several of those riders that really are unique and set us apart from the competition. So if you're kind of thinking through, well, what type of occupations do you guys see a lot of? Here you go. Here's some that we regularly see. And if you'll notice, these are all over the board as far as color codes, right? They're blue, white, and gray. So that kind of really comes back to my point of, I don't care what they do for a living. I bet you we can come up with several different competitive solutions. So dental hygienists, that's a huge market. A lot of the older, better named traditional companies have exited that market. They don't provide DI anymore for dental hygienists, believe it or not. So we picked up the slack on that, and we have a great program for them. Mechanics, you know, real estate agents is another one. So there's a lot of opportunity here. And if you focus in on one of these 2 occupations or industries, we've got occupation-specific marketing collateral that we can get to you. Just so send us a note and say, hey, look, I work with salon owners. We've got pieces that you can use that are consumer approved to approach your prospects on that. Okay. All right. So moving forward, we've also got a really cool program here. This may be kind of hard to see, but there's over 50 occupations here. And we've created what we call our W-2 upgrade program. So if someone works in one of these occupations and they satisfy a couple of different things. They've been in the business for a couple of years and they make at least $30,000 a year. That will lead to an upgrade, either from 1 to 2, a 2 to 3, or 3 to a 5. Now, where the 3 to 5 really sings is with things like that dental hygienist. So it's a great way for them to buy an affordable DI plan on their own. These are individual plans, and they get a great rate and a great product. Okay, and we'll make sure you guys have this whole list. All right, I always show this. This is my favorite, and it usually gets a chuckle. We've had this piece forever, and this is still our #1 ordered collateral piece, and it really helps drive the conversation down to the basic elements of what a DI plan does. It covers those basic expenses. So maybe everybody doesn't have a mortgage, but I guarantee you they have utilities and groceries. And if they don't have a mortgage, they probably have rent. And the last time I checked, the rental company wants their rent every single month, regardless if they rent it or own it, right? So it's applicable in this situation. But you can use this piece in say a transitional conversation. I get this question a lot. Hey, look, and I don't think this is necessarily true, but I hear, well, I don't want to mess up my life sale, or I only sell life insurance. I don't know how to transition to having a conversation about paycheck protection. This is a great tool here to use, and it might go something like this. Let's say I'm Bill's agent. And maybe I will say, hey, Bill, I appreciate you letting me review your life insurance portfolio the way we have things set up today. I don't think we need to change anything at this point, so let's feel good about that. But we need to take 10 more minutes and talk about protecting your paycheck. Okay, that's your transition state. That if Bill goes, well, what the heck are you talking about? Well, look, all these cool things that we're putting into place, and I don't know about you, but I need my paycheck to buy all these things. So we need to make sure on the other side of that coin, we got your life insurance taken care of. We feel good about that. But what about situations where you don't pass away? And we know medical technology is borderline miracles these days. It's kind of hard to die. And that sounds kind of weird and flippant, but think about that. So we need to make sure we address that. And this is a really easy piece, an easy way to transition that conversation from my life insurance portfolio to paycheck protection. We have a great little, what we call streamlined process, depending on the amount of benefit that you want to apply for. Now, we've just bumped this up, but what we are saying here is if you apply or your client applies for a benefit, a monthly benefit that's less than $5,000 a month, which is a good chunk of change, then it falls into this category. And the way the underwriters evaluate this is you still have to do the full application, which includes, as we know, a part 2, which are medical. But what the underwriter tries to do is evaluate the data just on that app. And if everything's clean and there's nothing they need to look at any further, then they don't look any further. So we try to avoid those pyramid, blood profiles, urinalysis, and you guys know how uber difficult it is to get people set up for exams and things along that line. So we try to clear the rocks out of the road, if you will. So up to $5,000 a month benefit at up to age 50, automatically falls into this category. And I've seen policies turned around in 24 hours when everything's clean on the app. So just keep that in mind. And then the other side of that, if from a financial guidelines, same type of thing, no income documentation is required for a W-2 employee, again, up to that $5,000 a month benefit. And if they're self-employed, we only look for 1 year of income documentation up to $5,000. So again, we don't eliminate everything, but we're trying to make it as streamlined, as easy as possible not only on you, but on your client as well. Okay. Digital tools, you guys are the best down there. I'm telling you. And we try to follow suit with making everything that you need to write business, to monitor your clients with us, underwriting, whatever. It's out there on our agent forum. And also that includes our web app. It's pretty seamless, easy to use, and we'll do e-policy delivery as well. So especially today, or after COVID really kicked in, it's important to have these electronic tools, digital tools, that so you don't have to slow down your business. All right, so let me just pull everything together and see if this makes sense to you. So, and this is a very typical type request or policy that we see. This is Susan. She's class 5. Let's call her that dental hygienist. She makes $65,000 a year, and depending on where you are geographically, that's either spot on or a little low, a little high. What I did, I just ran a 90-day elimination 2-year benefit, which we see a lot of. So what I did with Susan, keep in mind, if she's that dental hygienist, this is her own personal policy. So it's portable and has nothing to do with any group benefit that she has within the firm there. So I ran a $2,500 base benefit, which, since this is her own personal policy, she has access to this. This is a tax-free benefit. It costs $31. So she does nothing else. That solid base, no rider policy will cost her $31 a month. Okay. This 2-year pure on OC, if you're down in Florida, it has to be there, but I really like it anyway, because this allows Susan to go do something else to make some money, even if she's disabled according to our definition of a dental hygienist. So a good example might be, Susan can't do her job as a dental hygienist. However, she can walk across the street to the elementary school and teach the little kiddies how to brush and floss their teeth and get paid for it. With this rider, she can do that, and it does not impact the benefit that she receives from us. Okay, that's $2.45. Return of premium, game changer. Our number one consistently, year in and year out, sold additive rider is one of the true or only true return of premiums left in the marketplace today. Is very simply put, if Susan pays her premiums every single year up to the minimum age of 65 or to age 67, and then she's done, retires, we'll return 100% of all the premiums paid minus any claims we've had to pay Susan over the life of the contract. It's as simple as that. Okay, so game changer. Always show it and let the client make the decision as far as the premium addition goes. Now, for $18 more a month, I think Susan can see the big picture there. Okay, so I don't think that would be a problem with her understanding that, hey, okay, another few Starbucks a week, what it costs, then I can get all my money. The activities of daily living rider is my second favorite. I love this. It functions very similar to our long-term care policy. They're triggering events. So 2 of the 6 activities of daily living, if Susan cannot do those, certified by doctor will pay that $29.17 in addition on top of the $2,500 base. That costs $3.70. And then the GIO, the guaranteed insurability option, for $600, it's less than $1 a month, gives Susan the opportunity to increase her benefit, that $2,500, by $600 every couple of years. We'll reach out and say, hey, Susan, you got this rider on here. Do you want to exercise it? Yes or no? There's no medical underwriting involved. All she has to do is fill out a little one-pager that says, yeah, everything's still cool, I'm still working, and I will accept this rider. That's a no-brainer. Okay. And then the retroactive injury, that's the one we see a lot as well. And I tell you, one of the main reasons I put this on Susan's contract here is that the elimination period being 90 days it's a long time. So what happens is, if the disability is a result of an accident or an injury, and she's got this rider on there, when she satisfies that 90-day elimination period, will retro pay back 3 months worth of benefit, the $2,500. Okay, so in a lump sum. So that's a pretty cool feature there. It's $6. So, is it important? I think it is, but let Susan make that decision after you explain it. So all in, this is a pretty solid product, very comprehensive, ways to get money back, ways to increase your benefit for $61 a month. And I guarantee you guys are probably shaking your head with me. I guarantee you Susan pays probably double or triple that for a cable and internet bill, which she writes that check every single month without hesitation. Okay, so put that in the framework of, hey, we're going to cover this much of your income, and we built in these really cool features here for $61 a month. I think Susan can afford that. Okay. Hope that makes sense to you. By the way, yeah, if she carries this out to age 65, she'll get $25,000 back. That does not include the increases if she exercises that guaranteed insurability option every couple of years. Then of course that's going to be a higher return. So the end game here is, yeah, I don't expect to be disabled during my working life. Nobody really does. And if I'm, knock on wood, lucky enough not to be disabled and miss work, then I'll get all my money back. That's a pretty cool option there. All right, Bill, that's all I have. That was quick.
That was great.
Any questions, any follow-ups, you just let me know.
That was perfect, Jeff. We appreciate it once again, and I'm sure we'll see Jeff at the expo. We're also going to send out that thank you email. We'll include all brochures, everything you need to get started. And now you can see the niche this carrier represents, right? So now you basically have all bases covered when it comes to life and DI. Okay, Andrew's going to talk real quick about finding prospects and where to go for resources, and then we'll have our question of the day in 5 minutes here. Andrew?
Yep, thanks so much, Bill. Wanted to show everybody how to get started. I'll be brief here because I know we have to get out shortly. Just to get started, go to the Levinson website, log in, go to My Contracting, go ahead and select Illinois Mutual. You can either transfer if you're currently with them, or you can click the green icon to start a new contract. And of course, we have our cash for contracting where we'll match or beat your contract, plus our bonus of our own. So you not only get to participate in Illinois Mutual's bonuses, but you can use our bonuses as well to double dip, if you will. Also, here's a resources section of our website under the products tab. We have a great disability section and a return of premium term section. So you have all the marketing material that we just discussed will be there. We will also send it out to you. And we are also going to include our bonus DI toolkit, which goes over objection handling, sales ideas, and concepts, similar to what we just went over now. So we're going to get that out to everybody, but I wanted to show you where it is on our website if you do want to go in here, take a look, and dive in to the marketing material that's available to you. Real quick, I wanted to show everybody that we have great lead programs available to open the door, not just for term life insurance, but for disability insurance, right? Because we know, as Jeff just said, the same clients that you're targeting for life insurance are also the ones that need to be discussing paycheck protection and disability. So we have two great programs. I'm just going to briefly touch on them. We have the mortgage protection mailers starting at $6 to $8 a piece, or you can lock down a territory where we can do a 1,000-piece mail drop for you in a specific area. Okay, so that's a really great program there. And then we have our double verified telemarketed leads. Now, these are only $17 a lead. They're fully exclusive, and these are verified by a call center. Everything's recorded, and it comes with our 20% sales guarantee. Many of you are already using this program and seeing success, so definitely get involved with this. We'll send out the link with the information, but these are great ways to generate life and disability sales for the Illinois Mutual sales you would make with us. I'm going to go ahead and get it back to Bill talking about our agency Automator and how you can prospect to get more leads with that. Bill?
Okay, good stuff, Andrew. So real quick, as you know, Agency Automator, great tool that we have put together with our programmer, Kevin. And once again, a CRM tool, a website, a prospecting tool, these are all necessities to be a successful agent these days. Life, DI, health, whatever it is. Okay, and most agents don't know this, but if you look at the screen in front of you, you can actually dial in whatever criteria that you prefer. Let's just say you want to work in Coral Springs, Florida, 33067 area code, and you want all household incomes of $100,000 or more combined with children that are between the ages of 6 and 17. Okay, this system will pull from a database of millions and millions of clients, give you the name, number, address, email address, so you can go market to with all of our pre-approved marketing material. So this is a no-brainer. Okay, so take advantage of this. It's all available at a co-op discount. It starts at like 40, 50 bucks a month. Plus, if you write business, we reimburse you. And so it's free. Okay, and the website and basic CRM tool, if that's all you want, that's free. It's $9.95 a month for the hosting. We pay for the site and CRM tool. That's simple. Okay, the podcast. This is a great tool for you to train, learn, and constantly feed your brain. Okay, we get so many, we have 20,000 agents. You can imagine how many calls we get from other agents saying, hey, can you give me the number of Bill Levinson? I know he writes a ton of business. I want to pick his brain for a minute or two. Okay, obviously we can't share our agent's personal information. So the podcast was built with you in mind. So we literally handpick each guest speaker every single month, and I interview them for an hour. Okay, just like if I was an agent out there on the street and I want to find out what's working for Emmanuel, what's not, why is he different than the other 19,899 agents, whatever it is. So you need to check this out. Okay, these are two of the top agent podcasts. Okay, if you look on the left side, Pradeep, right side, Emmanuel. And for August, I have a new one coming out with Mike Patel, another top agent. I'm going to interview him. We'll launch it probably late this month, but keep your eyes peeled. If you leave a comment, I send you a prospecting book on us. Free, okay? All you have to do is check it out. It's on YouTube or your favorite podcast channel. Okay, what you're looking at now, these are all of our webinars, okay, and podcasts all wrapped up in one. If you look at the blue highlighted section on the bottom, we are diving into life settlements in 2021, why this is working so great right now, why the uptick. That's going to be a big one on the 19th. And then IUL and premium finance strategies for 2021. That's another big one. Plus, we have our consultant group that will, again, do all of the selling for you if you're not comfortable with premium finance. So another way to earn those huge, large ticket cases, 100, 200 grand of target premium, big commission. So anyway, check that out. We're also doing, and I literally put it together this morning, we're doing a lead bonanza blowout webinar just focused on our lead programs for 1 hour. We're going to have the vendors on, giveaways. It's going to be great. You'll see that. We're going to probably, I would say we'll blast it out this week, and you'll see a date, but it will be in August. So keep your eyes peeled for that. It's going to be a great one. Okay, last slide, question of the day. So I hope your little fingers are on your keyboard now, because I'm going to ask a question. Whoever answers first incorrectly wins the Amazon Echo, and I have the Distribution Solution Prospecting book on us. But I'm going to talk about the Positive Tuesday quote first. On the left side, that feeling you get when your phone is lost should be the same feeling you get when your dreams and goals are not on track. Okay, that panic, that anxiety should be there, right? If you're not constantly putting your right foot forward, you're literally riding a horse around New York City in 2021. It's backwards, okay? You need to make sure that you're constantly working towards your goals. Write them down, vision board, right? Every single day we have all the tools and resources to help you with that. Okay, now it's so important. Check out what we have available. We're going to send out everything in the thank you email, but it's so important. I don't care if you're just started in the business a week ago or you're a veteran and you've been doing this for 42 years. Every single day you can learn something new in this business, okay? And it doesn't matter who you are or how long you've been doing it. I promise you that. Okay, with that said, I'm going to ask our question of the day. Tell me the next guest speaker on my podcast in August. What is his name? I mentioned his name. It's one of our top agents, and he's going to be featured in the August episode of the Bill Levinson Experience podcast. You tell me his name, and you win. I just said it about 3.5 minutes ago. You tell me his name, you win. Andrew, do we have a winner?
We do. We have a winner. It's Ravi M. Ravi M. from Texas looks to be the first.
Ravi from Texas. The answer was Mike Patel. He's going to be the August guest speaker. It's going to be awesome. We'll send it out. It's free. Okay, look for our thank you email today. And if you have any questions, never hesitate to reach out. All 22 employees are here to help our agents and do the best we can for each and every one of you. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, a great week, and great selling. Take care.